Saban hari kita melihat industri filem Malaysia menunjukkan potensi untuk berkembang dan menyumbang kepada pendapatan negara. Industri filem tempatan kini makin mendapat perhatian penonton dan diperkatakan secara meluas, pendek kata, ia menjadi perbualan ramai. Secara keseluruhannya, industri perfilman Malaysia semakin terancak dengan bilangan-bilangan filem yang diterbitkan setiap tahun semakin bertambah. Soalannya, bagaimana pula dengan bakat-bakat maupun terbitan filem dari Sarawak? Salam sejahtera. Saya Tony Yusof, pengacara anda dalam Dunia Insan Kreatif, sebuah rancangan temu bual mingguan mengenai industri kreatif yang disiarkan secara eksklusif hanya di TVS. Minggu ini saya akan bawa anda berkenalan dan masuk ke dalam dunia perfilman dan penerbitan. Dan kita bakal bertemu dengan dua orang lagi anak jati Sarawak yang kian menempa nama di Malaysia selain bekerjasama dengan syarikat produksi dari luar negara. Tetamu kita minggu ini adalah seorang penolong pengarah ataupun assistant director dan beliau juga seorang penulis lakon layar, ya, yang telah menghasilkan beberapa filem, web series, drama, video muzik, iklan TV dan sebagainya. Senarai yang cukup panjang. Bukan itu saja, beliau juga telah bekerjasama dengan beberapa produksi daripada pelbagai negara, Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapura dan sebagainya. Namun perjalanan beliau dalam industri filem bukan mudah. Seperti yang kita tahu, semenjak dunia, negara kita dan seluruh dunia dilanda wabak COVID-19, macam-macam cabaran, ya, termasuk penutupan panggung sejak awal tahun lalu. So this week we have Josh Nawan. How are you, Josh?
Good.
The new normal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm born and bred in Sarawak, proudly Sarawakian.
Orang muda kucing.
Yeah, I'm from Miri.
Actually from Miri.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Miri, and I've been in this industry for berapa? 10, 20 years, mungkin.
Thereabouts.
I think so, somewhere there.
Okay, now since you're talking about how long you've been in the industry, why don't you tell us a little bit more how you got into the industry? Because you learned you studied something entirely different at first, right?
Yeah. I started back in Sarawak, I was in vocational dulu.
Okay.
I did engineering and all that. Did my diploma in engineering.
What's your current project? I mean, the latest one you've completed, maybe.
Before, I'm just backtracking. I did White Raja, which was in Sarawak.
We'll get back to that later.
Yeah, and then a few days ago, I just wrapped a movie with the living legend, Dan Said.
Okay.
It was a pleasure working with him. And next one, I'll be with another movie. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it's going to be a change in the industry where it's going to be a lot of CGs and whatnot.
Right.
As in VFX and shooting against blue screen, green screen.
Was that the one I was involved in?
You are going to be.
I am going to be. Yeah. Oh, interesting times. Very, very busy man right now. Okay. How did you get into script writing and all that?
Script writing. I didn't know that I can write at first, but I love to read because both my parents were teachers, so you know lah.
Okay.
Balik rumah, read a book. So I read a lot, and when it came to script writing, I was kind of forced to do it because when we did a project, the script was never finished, but you have to shoot.
Right.
So the director said, "Okay, help me write this episode, help me write this program," and we just kind of go with it.
So it's mostly out of necessity at first, right?
And when I started, then suddenly, I can write lah. Let's do this. So I was given a task. So you know what? Write the script, short film. So I wrote a script and completed it, and I just left it there. But my friend found that script and he sent it to a few competition, and lo and behold, I won.
Which competition is this?
There's this 2013 Malaysian script writing competition.
Okay.
I think it's 2013. I can't remember.
Was it a national level competition?
Yeah. It's
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, since you've got such a wide range of industry experience, right? Especially locally, How would you say we fare, say, in the global scene, working in Malaysia, and then if you compare it to say Bollywood or even Hollywood?
Malaysia has its own identity working in our industry. Of course, we don't have the budget like those guys have,
Yeah.
but we do have the what do you call it? We do have the story to tell. We have a lot of stories to tell. Malaysian there's a lot of layers to peel.
We must have a lot of stories. We come. I mean, we're made up of so many different cultures and so many different peoples of so many backgrounds from even different parts of the world who came here like long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever run out.
No,
right?
No. I mean, as for myself, being a Sarawakian, being a true Kayan, I'm Kayan by the way, from Baram.
Kayan power.
There's a lot of stories, and the sad thing about it is, it's dying.
Right.
There's a lot of dying arts going on. Our language, our culture, our costume identity. If we don't practice it, we don't keep it, it's gonna die. It's gonna be lost.
But that's why we need people like yourself.
Yeah.
You know, to carry on telling these stories, like. And I mean, like your passion is in filmmaking and storytelling, right? So I'm sure you have, say, ambitions in the future to step up and direct your own movie.
I do. That's one of my dreams. I mean, any new filmmakers will always, I want to be like Nolan. I want to be like Wong Kar-wai.
Right.
But I think let's start from where we are from, like us Sarawakians.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to bring a Sarawak story in your own style, in your own way, so that that's your identity. You can't be Christopher Nolan being a Sarawakian story. I mean, there's always a way, but I think you have to be your own as to show the world, hey, you know what? I'm a Sarawakian, this is my identity, this is how I want to show my story, this is how I want to shoot my film. Yeah.
Especially in filmmaking, do you think it's always better to say make it outside of Malaysia first and then come back, or?
There's two ways how you look at it.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong in doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to make it big outside and come back, by all means do that. If you want to make it first here and go outside, if that's your way of doing it, please do. But for me, I think let's stay grounded first. Let's do it here, then bring it outside. Because I think it helps with the identity of being a Sarawakian, being a Malaysian. If you go out, yes, you're exposed to the outside world, how they work, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And as I said, there's no wrong or right way of doing it.
Yeah.
But to me, I'll say I start from where I am right now, then bring it out.
It's a question of sama ada kita berani, kasih berani je.
Yeah. And I think it's very important is, let's, in the end of the day, let's come back. I mean, if you make it outside, come back. Help the industry, help our own people, nurture young people especially.
Right.
And there's a lot of young people out, I mean, studying films right now, trying to make it big. Try out in online, YouTube or not. Please, by all means, go do that. And I think it's up to us to guide these people, hold their hands. Oh, this is not the way. This is the wrong way. This is the right way. So I think we need a lot of young people, no matter big projects, small projects.
And do you think with a station like TVS right now, the establishment of TVS, it definitely will help, right? I mean, like any platform is good as long as there's a platform, right?
There is.
So we have this platform right now, and are you optimistic that we will have enough talent in the near future to cater to this platform?
I know we do have.
Yeah.
I look at TVS as how, for example, we locally watch daytime drama.
Yes.
Kan? And our parents will watch this kind of from foreign countries drama. But why do we watch Indonesian drama? Why do we watch Filipino drama? Why we watch Korean? And let's put it in a way where maybe they like to watch ours as well. We speak different language, we have different cultures. Why do we accept their content and why can't they accept ours? So I think TVS is going to be a new platform. Of course, it's new. Of course, we are raw. Of course, there's hiccups in
Yes.
what we're going to do.
But baby steps, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be teething problems,
Of
but
course.
if this is something we need to get past, and it will pass, and we will get better. And I think, like you said, what's stopping us from enjoying our own shows and exporting our shows for the wider audience to receive and enjoy. If there was anything you could change about the industry, what would it be? Local industry.
COVID. Anything that we can change.
Are you optimistic for the changes in Sarawak, for instance?
Oh yes, yes. I feel that as a Sarawakian, Sarawak has a lot of potential. We have a lot of talents. It's just that we need to find the needle in the haystack.
Right.
Right. Sarawakians have a lot of potential. Look at filmmakers. Look at James Wan.
Yeah.
Right. He was born in Kuching, although he don't grow up here, but
Yeah.
we locally try to get him. Hey, he's from Sarawak. He's from Kuching. James Wan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What I want to change, what I feel like we want to change in the industry, I think it's how we approach our industry. We need to think differently. We need to support rather than bash. Yeah, kan? I mean, we come up with a movie, and then suddenly people say, "You, what kind of movie this fella doing?" Rather than saying that, why not give positive comments? I hope so.
Do you have any hopes for, say, a platform like TVS?
I hope TVS will make it internationally rather than just be a local TV station. Let's push it outside the country.
For a wider audience, a greater
wider
audience, right?
I mean, we watch Filipino subdrama, we watch South American, but why don't we go that way as well? Sell it out.
So yeah, we hope moving on we can produce better things, bigger things, and then power to TVS. Let's hope for more projects and more interesting collaborations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for being
sir.
with us. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Okay, itu dia Josh Nawan, seorang Kayan, kaum Kayan dari Sarawak, yang saya pun kenal sejak 2 tahun lalu apabila buat filem Sumpahan Jerunai yang saya harap akan keluar dalam tahun ni. Jangan ke mana-mana. Tetamu kedua kita sedang menempa nama di Los Angeles, the filmmaking capital of the world. Dan walaupun hanya berusia 27 tahun, beliau telah berjaya menerbitkan beberapa filem dan dokumentari selain merangkul anugerah di luar negara. Dan pada awal tahun lalu, filem usaha sama terbitan beliau dan seorang lagi anak Malaysia yang berjudul St. Louis Superman telah dicalonkan untuk anugerah Oscar di dalam kategori Best Documentary Short Subject ataupun dokumentari terbaik dalam subjek pendek, sebaris dengan nama penerbit besar yang lain. Perjalanan kerjaya yang sungguh hebat, namun ini cuma permulaannya untuk beliau. Dan disebabkan beliau sedang berada di Los Angeles ketika ini, sesi temu bual ini dijalankan melalui secara online, ya, dan tidak lain dan tidak bukan, ladies and gentlemen, bersama saya hari ini adalah Miss Cheynne Tan. How are you, Cheynne?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, Cheynne, would you like to, for the benefit of our audience here, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself, maybe before you became an award-winning filmmaker?
Before I became a filmmaker at all, I was just a girl from Kuching, born and raised there. Very proud that I'm from there.
Which neighborhood in Kuching?
Kenyalang Park.
Kenyalang Park for the win. So how did you start out being a filmmaker? How did it interest you?
So I've always known that I wanted to be a storyteller, but I didn't know how or where or in what platform or format. And then when I know ever since I was a kid, I've been very curious type of person, and my dad doesn't hold back giving me knowledge. So when I was 9, my bedtime stories tell me about the Second World War or the American Revolution or like very depressing stuff like that lah. But my brothers and I, we're very like history buff geeks type of kids.
Wow. So you're interested in social, political, things have started from a very, very young age then. And then, being a female documentary filmmaker from Sarawak, that's a way up there. I mean, I was in awe when I heard that, a young filmmaker from Sarawak was nominated for the Oscar. From Sarawak, from Kanyalang Park, right? Last year, and here we are. You hear the interview with me. Could you share what was your reaction when you first heard the news?
I don't know because they were like, so we got shortlisted from like, I don't know, hundreds of films that year, but there were like so many big front runners, right, that we expect to get a lot more nominations. The film St. Louis Superman was commissioned by Al Jazeera English, and then it was acquired by MTV. So of course we had like a big MTV name behind us and all that stuff, but it was intimidating. So I didn't really expect us to be shortlisted at all, and then we got shortlisted.
Like you see a lot of films being made abroad, and once they're made abroad, they seem to do a lot better compared to say films that are made locally. How about in your view? What are the advantages of say producing a film abroad compared to if you were to produce it back here?
I've never produced a film back home, unfortunately, so I cannot really make that comparison. But I can say is a lot of films that are made outside seems more successful because it's already built on top of a reputation and a fan base, that it has around the world, right? Like Hollywood films obviously is kind of like you said the capital of the world when it comes to film. And yeah, I would say that I'm very lucky I'm here in LA because all the resources I need are here. If I want a grant, I can find one here at least, Back home, unfortunately, there's still not enough support for artists, and that has a lot to do with the mindset of the people also, right? Like now I see like you guys are going through MCO and everyone's like, oh, don't worry guys, like all these shows are on Netflix, like we can watch Netflix, but you don't think about who is behind all of those shows, and why don't we treat those people with the respect that they deserve and to pay them with, instead of paying them with experience and exposure, we should be paying them with livable wages.
I totally agree with you. What level of filmmaking do we deserve back home?
Tony, we're both Sarawakians, and we're both like from like a long line of storytellers, right? Because we tell our stories through oral, pass it down from generation to generation. I would say we're actually very natural filmmakers, natural storytellers. We know how to tell a story. Like go home and go talk to your aunties and stuff. Like they will tell you stories.
And despite that, we still have a lot that's untapped. Do you agree?
Right. And I think that's the problem is that, it continues to be untapped because people don't believe in artists enough. People don't believe that why make a film, like such a waste of money lah, it's like, but like then you expect a local stories to be told well when they're not even given the right resources, the right education, the right experiences. And also there's an issue. I have issues with also us allowing people to come into our state to tell our stories, whether they are big Hollywood studios to tell a certain type of Sarawakian stories, or even West Malaysian filmmakers coming to tell our stories because they don't know us the way we know us. And I'm not saying that, only Sarawakians can make Sarawakian films, but like we should have like strong creative positions in this type of productions, because then we make sure that everything's told right. We're not just like not our actual native people, like our Dayak people are only the extras and everyone else is brought in from West Malaysia. Like that's messed up, like that's not being told right.
So Sarawakians should be given, the right tools and the right amount of resources to tell our own stories, because nobody should be able to tell our stories better than we can, right?
Right, because they're just going to rewrite our narratives, and if we don't take back that narrative,
Without the sensibilities that we already grew up with and knew,
right.
from ancestors, from then till now. So with that in mind, what do you think? If there are efforts that can be taken to ensure sustainability of Sarawak produced film, what can be done to spark this movement?
From a tiny level, right, from the family and friends level, I think there's obviously an importance of not discouraging people from doing what they want to do. Like, I'm very lucky because I have parents who are like, oh, you want to make films? Like, they treat me like an adult from the beginning. Like, this is a decision you have to make, and therefore you have to face the consequences. And so on the very low, like on the very close to you level, then don't discourage your friends, don't discourage your family. If I feel like if you're an aspiring filmmaker, you have to be very careful about who you show your work to, especially when you're starting out, because not everyone's going to give you constructive criticism. Another, on the bigger level, sounds like we're already taking steps to it. TVS obviously is a good way to do it, but also like giving filmmakers a platform, right? Even as simple as making sure that our cinemas don't die, or we have cinemas, art centers that only show locally made films. Give local filmmakers that constant platform of a place to show their film, so that it's like, oh, if I make my film, then no one's gonna watch it, so what's the point? But if they know, like, oh, I can always show this film in this cinema, and my friends and my family and other people might come and watch it, then there is that incentive also. And of course, I don't have to say, resources, money, and investment in equipment and all that kind of stuff. Or putting money into productions and things like that. Obviously, it's important as well.
Yeah. Any platform is better than none right now, right? Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap this up, do you have any quick advice to tell, aspiring filmmakers in Malaysia, and particularly in Sarawak?
Particularly in Sarawak, stories are all around you. You just have to look, and you can always tell it from your perspective. My advice is just not to stop. And that sounds like, oh, it's easy for you to say, you're all the way over there, but like, really, like, don't stop and always put yourself out there. This is something that I'm still learning, because we're Malaysian, right? So we're very humble, so you don't really know. But here in America, everyone's always selling themselves. Whether they meet that expectation they sell of themselves, it's a different story. But we also have to learn to like be proud of our stories and of our work.
Yeah.
And yeah, just keep making films and keep telling stories.
Keep telling stories. Thank you very much, Cheynne. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you. All the best to you. We hope to see more of your work. We hope to see you back in Sarawak sometime soon as well, after this whole pandemic is over. You take care.
Bye.
Itu dia Cheynne Tan yang sedang berada di Los Angeles ketika ini. Saya harap beliau akan terus maju dengan film dokumentari yang akan diterbitkan di masa hadapan, dan semoga film industri di Sarawak akan makin berkembang selepas ini.
Industri perfilman memainkan peranan penting dalam menyumbang kepada pendapatan negara. Namun, satu transformasi sosial perlu dilakukan untuk keluar daripada zon selesa ataupun comfort zone dengan melihat lebih jauh ke hadapan untuk mengatasi saingan dan lambakan filem dari luar negara. Ini seiring dengan arus perkembangan era globalisasi dan penghasilan pelbagai teknologi canggih sinematografi masa kini. Semua pihak, khususnya para penerbit, memainkan peranan penting dalam kemajuan filem tempatan. Kita sudah pun sampai ke penghujung rancangan kita. Terima kasih kepada Josh Nawan dan Cheynne Tan kerana sudi meluangkan masa. Setinggi penghargaan kepada World Trade Center Kuala Lumpur kerana menaja lokasi kami pada minggu ini. Terima kasih kerana menonton. Saya Tony Yusof. Kita jumpa lagi di minggu depan di dalam Dunia Insan Kreatif.